All right, and as promised earlier on, we're going to have this conversation about logistics here. And joining me is a career logistics practitioner. He has been in the game for 40 years now. He's currently the manager for Rolling Cargo Kenya. I'd first like to pick your mind, sir, on that story by SGR, downsizing the cost of freights. What do you make of that?
Brian, in fact, this is a welcoming idea, and it is really going to assist because most of our customers have been complaining. Okay, you bring the container from China, it gets to Mombasa. To pull it from Mombasa to the destination, it was costing massive. So that has been increasing on the cost. And this is a good welcome, and I'm sure each businessman should be happy with this, because if you invest less and you make more, that is the essence of business.
Well, so it's a positive
It's a positive step, yes.
Ah, great.
Yes.
Mr. Christopher, you have been in this game for 40 years now.
Yeah.
Could you tell us how you have seen the business of logistics transform from the time you entered till now?
Okay, maybe I need to explain something further before I come to the logistics itself.
Okay.
Yes, I've been in the business for the last 40 years, but I've been working in a different section. My main life in this logistics, I've been in transit sheds.
Okay.
My work has been in the airport for that last 40 years, and my main work has been to set up the transit sheds in the airport. I've actually, during that period, I've done 3 in Jomo Kenyatta Airport, and I've done 1 in Eldoret. So that has been my line. And then after a few, over the time, I decided now to move into the logistics of clearing.
Oh, okay.
You remember in transit sheds, they have only 2 main customers. And these are airlines, which bring in the cargo, and then the clearing agents.
True.
So for a long period, I've been associated with clearing agents as my customer. And then now I've moved now to do exactly what they are doing. I've been there now for the last 1 year.
Amazing.
Yes.
So last year was a tough year for all businesses, and the economy, went through a lot of ravages. How was the logistics business affected by the COVID-19 pandemic in terms of numbers, and what did the business environment look like for logistics? Okay,
for logistics, it has been really a nightmare because remember, we rely, our work relies on cargo coming in and cargo going out. But because of the COVID last year, the trend changed. First, there was a capacity issue. You remember in Nairobi or elsewhere, people rely on passenger aircrafts.
True.
And with the lockdowns in various places, many airlines also pulled out their flights. And therefore, the capacity was adversely affected. Remember, this thing just happened.
True.
Nobody expected it. So in logistics, you would find that some of us had already made a commitment to the end user here, that your cargo will be delivered this time. But now with the reduced capacity, it was very difficult for you to conclusively tell your client a cargo will arrive this day. That's number 1. Number 2, because of the reduced flights, the space was limited also, and the demand was high. And therefore, obviously, the airlines had to review their charges, not because they wanted to punish anybody, but you would imagine somebody flying a freighter from here to China to pick cargo. And when he goes empty and comes with cargo. Remember, you can imagine the costs. So they were doing this also to bridge on their costs.
That said, with the kind of business environment that we're now operating, did that necessitate you guys to increase the prices for freight services? Because we understand various customers were looking at things like how are the packages made? Have they been inspected? Have they been sanitized? And packaged in a way that is compliant to the COVID protocol. So did that increase costs?
Yeah, really, that did not increase costs, but the costs are actually affected in terms of the freight, not the processing of the exports.
Okay.
Yes.
So what does the demand look like right now? Is
the demand is still high because actually the situation is now improving right from January.
Okay.
I'd say early December, January. The situation is improving because a number of airlines are reintroducing back their fleets, and that makes it at least easier for us to be able to gauge when our shipments will move.
Great. So would you talk to us about the opportunities that are being presented right now by the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement?
Yeah, the opportunities are there because we, for example, us as Rolling Cargo, what we do is that we don't only operate in Kenya.
Okay.
We have opened offices in various places in China, in Dubai, in Turkey, in Bangladesh. We have offices in the US. Now, most of these African countries, some of them still don't have connectivity. So what we do as Rolling Cargo, we will bring cargo, for example, from China. And then we will make transshipment from here to those African countries. So that is how we are assisting that, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So as we come to a close in this conversation, what do you what is the future looking like for the logistics and cargo business?
Yeah, the future is bright. The future is bright because if you compare what's happening today and what was happening last year, you would see a growth. There is some growth. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for finding time to speak to us on business today. And that's our conversation on Matters Logistics. We have been speaking to the manager of Rolling Cargo. We want to now take a short break, but when we come back, BBC Money Daily will be on air. You're watching Business Today. Do stay with us.